This is the Lobo postgame show. Once again, Robert Portnoy.
Well, if you were tuned in tonight, you were having some fun. The Lobos turn a 5-point halftime deficit into a 75-66 conference masterpiece over rival Wyoming. New Mexico wins to improve to 3-2 in league play and send Wyoming to 2-2 in conference action. The Lobos 8-10 overall, and Wyoming at 11-6. The Lobos extend their home court winning streak to 5 too, as they have started to become the Lobos of old here on Bob King Court inside Dreamstyle Arena. You're locked into the Lobo basketball postgame show. New Mexico tonight, the night of a dunk, but when they do, Everguard Solar and Everguard Roofing donate $10 a piece to All Face. All Face serves over 2,500 kids and their families every year by teaching them how to prevent abuse and guiding them as they recover from it. Please help us give children back their childhood. Learn more by visiting allfaiths.org. What a night. The Lobos win 75-66 over Wyoming. Post-game show continues after this timeout. It's Lobo basketball from their field. Basketball post-game show continues live from Dreamstyle Arena, the pit. New Mexico 75, Wyoming 66. Final. Bank of the West continues its commitment as the Lobo three-point basket sponsor, and after every game they donate to Special Olympics of New Mexico. For more than 20 years now they've done it, and Bank of the West has contributed over $100,000 to Special Olympics of New Mexico as part of its proud commitment to Lobo athletics. Trailing by 5 at intermission, the Lobos came out firing. It was all Antono Jackson all the time the first 10 minutes of the second half. He finished with a Lobo career best 20 points, and Antono Jackson led his Lobos to a double-digit lead before he fouled out late. New Mexico made its free throws down the stretch and held on for the 75-66 final. We pause. Post-game report continues from the pit after this. Lobo 75, Wyoming 66. Lobo basketball from Learfield. 75-66 the final. Lobos defeat Wyoming in Dreamstyle Arena, the pit. All right, it is time for us to highlight our State Farm Insurance assist of the game. When teammates help each other out, great plays happen like this. And Maldonado won it. Maldonado gives it off to Adams, and it's stolen away by Malawach. Loose ball grabbed by Jackson. Transition 3 on the way for Mathis. You bet! Great find by Antono, and Mathis books a 3-ball.
Jackson with the find. Mathis with the stroke.
75-66 final tonight, in large part due to the spectacular play of Antono Jackson. He delivered the State Farm Insurance assist of the game, presented by State Farm. Get an agent that gets you State Farm Insurance. Lobo 75, Wyoming 66 is our final. Lots to do on the postgame show. Still our postgame coach's comments with headman Paul Weir on a big night as New Mexico wins its second straight in league. We pause. Lobo basketball from their field. Lobo basketball postgame show continues from Dreamstyle Arena, the pit. The Lobo 75, Wyoming 66 is your final. All right, it's time to select our PNM Reliable Player of the Game. And if you've been tuned in, you know where we're headed here. There's no doubt tonight the game changer for Lobos was none other than senior point guard Antono Jackson. Jackson off the first stinger ball screen. Hesitation dribble down the lane line. He scores and he's fouled. It's Antono Jackson's game right now. Look at Ja'Kai Simmons celebrating at center court. Antono Jackson is your PNM Reliable Player of the Game. PNM delivers reliable energy to you 24/7. Committed community partners. PNM adding cleaner resources, including more solar and wind energy. And we're working to build a strong, sustainable energy future for New Mexico. Talk to us at pnm.com, where you can manage your account and learn how to save money on your electric bill. Antono Jackson is your PNM Reliable Player of the Game. The final book on Antono: 7 of 12 from the field, 4 of 7 from long range, 2 of 3 from the foul line, had 1 rebound. It was offensive. He finished with a team-best 20 points and a career high at UNM. He had 4 assists and 4 steals in 28 minutes. Antono Jackson, the PNM Reliable Player of the Game. We pause. Lots still left to do at Dreamstyle Arena. Lobo 75, Wyoming 66. It's Lobo basketball from Learfield. 75-66 is the final. New Mexico knocks off Wyoming in Dreamstyle Arena, the pit. You're locked into the Lobo Basketball post-game show. Our privilege now to welcome in Lobo head coach Paul Weir after a tremendous victory over a very good Wyoming team and a league rival. Congratulations, Coach Weir. And I think I'd like to start with the start of the second half. What was the discussion at halftime? You guys came out guns a-blazing at the start of the second half, and boy, did Antono Jackson deliver.
Yeah, no, that first 20 minutes from a technical standpoint as far as what we're trying to do in a game was just a poor 20 minutes. We had 13 deflections at halftime, 13 turnovers, and we'd given up 4 made threes. And those are the only things I put on the board, 13 deflections, 13 turnovers, and 4 threes. And we went into the game saying we didn't even want them to get a 3 off. We obviously are shooting for 40 deflections for a game, and 13 turnovers is just beyond, awful. So, very spirited halftime. We said we have to limit the turnovers, we have to get our deflection count up, and we have to take away the three-point shot. They didn't score a 3 the rest of the game. We turned it over 7 times in the second half, which still isn't great. We had some tough ones here down the stretch I didn't like, but eventually we did enough well to come out with a win, and obviously a really, really big win for our guys.
Coach, you talk about the turnovers, and watching the team play, you could see they're getting better, especially in the little two-man games and just the inside outs.
Yep.
Some of those turnovers were just guys trying to be unselfish and find their teammate.
Yeah, the first half, we talk about playing above and below, and we were getting in traffic there in the first half, and we were playing everything around waist and chest height, trying to throw these little passes instead of bouncing it or throwing it over the top. And I thought we had 4 or 5 in the first half of guys just trying to make passes and not playing above or below. And in the second half, we played above and below. We bounce past the ball inside, we get a foul. We throw it over the top, we get a foul. But in the first half, we were just kind of making some lazy, sloppy, kind of technical errors that fortunately we were able to clean up in the second half.
Something got into Antono Jackson there at the start of the second half.
Yeah, and I didn't answer that.
Yeah.
He made some really tough shots. I wish I could sit here and say we were in a great flow. I thought Wyoming's defense in the first half was really good. As much as I want to sit here and say we made all these errors, Wyoming's a very good defensive team. That's why they're having the season they're having. Their post defense is terrific. They rebound the ball very well. They have a shot blocker in the middle. It's a good defense. And for 20 minutes, they had us really kind of on our heels. We weren't in a great flow. And I thought early in the second half, I don't even know if we were necessarily doing a lot of great things, but Antono was making a lot of great plays and just on his own, and it really opened everything up after that. From that point on, I thought their defense took a step back, and our offense finally got into a rhythm, and we were able to make plays. And that was Antono just being Antono. Like, he made some really tough, gritty, talented shots, and was able to open it up for us, and it was really big.
Coach, did you ever? I know you prepared for zone.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell. It seemed like they were maybe playing a little matchup zone.
Yeah, no, they have a very extended zone, very similar to San Jose's. We thought we'd see a lot more, but like I said, their defense in the first 20 minutes was really good. They didn't need to go to it. When Antono got rolling a little bit and then we got into a rhythm, they went to zone there for the middle part of the second half. Then we got loose and got a couple layups, and then they kind of finished in man. So we've had a good zone offense all year because we have shooters. I think we can kind of really space the floor, and zones are kind of hard to match up on us. So I felt good about it when we were going to go to it. We made some plays tonight, and we made some shots. I thought Antono made some shots. I thought Joe made some shots. I thought McQuatch made some shots. We had some guys make some shots, and that always makes you look good.
I wanted to ask about McQuatch because it did appear like early, if you got an opportunity to get McQuatch going to the rim against Dalton, that you were going to take every chance, and he was amazing.
Yeah, that was the idea. We wanted to go at Dalton. Unfortunately, we didn't foul him out till the end, but we were trying to go at him early and just get him in foul trouble and get him out of rhythm. He still played 33 minutes, which wasn't great, and unfortunately, James was the one that really hurt us tonight. That was as good a player in the Mountain West that I've seen yet tonight. And we've played all the great ones. Now, be honest with you, we were really trying to shut Dalton down. We went in saying, we've got to limit this guy. We've got to take him away. Not that we didn't talk about James, but we really were focused on Dalton, and James ended up being just a mammoth tonight. He was unbelievable, and as good, like I said, of an individual player as I've seen in the Mountain West yet.
Was the strategy to just kind of take away the drive? Because, I mean...
Well, the problem is he made those threes early, and he's not a great three-point shooter, and he made two early.
So
and
you respected him.
It's
Gotcha.
hard. So, he made those shots, and it's like, look, we've got to take these guys off the three-point line. Then he starts driving, and then halfway through the second half, I mean, he's in such a rhythm at that point. It's like, you can go zone, you can do some stuff, but, man, he's pretty good. We were really just trying to hold the fort, and we fortunately were able to get enough turnovers. We talked the last few days that, hey, he has a 1-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. He's not a great passer, so we were able to get some turnovers out of him, which was really big. And we got just enough turnovers, I think, down the stretch there in the second half where they threw the ball out of bounds or they missed a guy or whatever to kind of get the stops that we needed to get a win.
Hard to tell exactly for sure whether it came just because of switches or if it was intentional, but it did look like you were trying Ant on him a little bit there just to see if Ant could keep him in front.
I'll be honest with you, we were coming to timeouts and I was like, who wants him? We need to step up. And one guy would say, I got him. And then he'd go get scored on. I'd say, okay, who's next? And we go to the next. I mean, we tried McQuatch on him. We tried Anton. I mean, we tried everyone on him.
I almost thought you were giving him the lane.
Yeah,
and maybe
that's
double
what it looked like. I mean, that's don't even get me started. But
he's a great athlete.
He's a tremendous player. And like I said, by him making those threes early, it wasn't a situation where we were just going to pack it in and let him make threes all night. And I told him that at halftime, that twos are less than three. And when you're up 8, 6, 10, we just can't give up threes. We have to get stops. We have to make them make tough 2-point shots. And we were fortunately able to do that tonight.
Going back to Antonio, I noticed just the rhythm of the flow of the game. And when he's able to get into rhythm, especially going to his left, he's unstoppable with that jump shot.
Yeah, he's a quick little dude, man. Yeah. And those little guys are hard to keep in front. And he has very good change of direction where he'll go one way and come back, go one way, come back, then keep going. Yeah. It's very frustrating sometimes because you're trying to run a play and no one knows what he's doing. But we have some actions that we put him in where he's able to kind of have a little bit of freedom, and we did that to open the second half, and it got him in a rhythm, and then we just stayed in that the rest of the way.
Joe Furstinger is on such a roll now that it's no longer, let's at the end of non-conference play, he's getting on this double-double surge. What about the competition? Okay, we can throw all of that out the window now. We're 5 games into league. You've played teams with great bigs. You've played teams with great length. You said they had a great shot blocker tonight, and there's Joe with another double-double. And then when they started to take away Ant and force the ball out of his hands, Joe started driving to the goal. I mean, he was unbelievable again.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest with you. Joe's offense obviously is great. We really need his scoring around the rim in particular, but his defensive rebounding has been exceptional lately, and we have not had a guy that can go out and just go get rebounds on the defensive end. If we miss a box out this year, it turns into an offensive rebound and a layup, and we haven't had a guy that can just flat out go get the ball. It doesn't matter whether Hunter missed a box out or Rob missed the box out. Joe just goes and gets the ball, and I think over the last 2-3 games, he's just gone and got the ball and really saved the lack of size we have everywhere else. I mean, 10 defensive rebounds is terrific, and he had something similar last game. I think he had 9, and his ability to just go defensively and get big rebounds for us is key, because those were offensive rebounds earlier this year. We were getting a missed shot and then giving up a rebound and a bucket or whatever, and Joel's really cleaning up the glass for us right now, and it's just invaluable to us.
Coach, talk about the 8 strong. I mean, now we hit on the road and maybe a little foul trouble here this evening. Talk about how you're going to handle that on the road.
No, it's going to be a fight, but this team, these 8 are just proving a lot of things, to themselves, to our locker room, to the guys that aren't in the top 8, that like, hey man, you don't have to have an all Mountain West Conference player. You don't have to have 2 of them. You don't have to have a fancy record. You don't have to have whatever. If you just play really hard and you care and you want it more and you defend and you rebound, you can still be successful in college basketball. And I think it was tough for some of these guys to learn that lesson, and maybe some of them still don't even believe it, but these 8 do, and that's why they're getting these wins. And I'm just so happy that they're able to get these wins.
In terms of progress, what can you tell us from the training staff regarding Sam Logwood? Is he getting closer? And then on the progress front as well, If he continues on the path that he currently is Troy Simons getting closer to the court and maybe even this weekend in Fresno?
Yeah, I don't really have an update at this point. Right now, all I was focused on the last few days is Wyoming. We're going to start working on Fresno tonight. And I'm just working with these 8 guys, and whenever those other guys come back, we'll cross that bridge then. But I like what these 8 guys have. They've bottled something, they're working hard, and they've earned the right to continue to fight together and work together. And I'm not just going to throw someone back in prematurely that might disrupt that.
Well, it's now 5 in a row here in the pit. You guys are really protecting your home court. What would be the next step in terms of getting into the finish of a game on the road and getting a big road conference win? You have a chance in Fresno Saturday.
Yeah, I wish it was one thing, but it almost seems to be something a little like tonight was turnovers. We couldn't take care of the ball. We've just got to stay mentally engaged and mentally strong to not turn over the ball, to make big free throws down the stretch, to take care of the ball, to not turn it over, to get big stops, to guard the ball one-on-one. I think we've made a ton of progress so far, enough to where we're now winning these games, but we have to continue to progress. We have to get tougher mentally, or we're not going to give up those easy threes in the first half, and we're not going to turn it over 13 times, and we're not going to give up straight line drives to the rim. We still have to grow. We've grown enough now to where we're winning these games, but in order to win more games or games even harder than this one, we have to make those strides toughness-wise.
And overcoming those mistakes on the road, that's the
question.
Even harder part.
Or just even a different opponent, a different game, whatever they may be. It's just our mental toughness, and I think we've gotten mentally tougher. I do. I think when you see us play, you see a more resilient team, a tougher team. Not perfect, but getting there. And now we just got to keep growing in that area.
Well, we could see it on your face when you came out, Coach Ware.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes.
This was a big win.
You
could hear it from these fans when it finished.
Yes,
Congratulations. We'll see you in Fresno.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Lobo head coach Paul Ware in a very big win for the New Mexico Lobos tonight. We pause on the postgame show. Come back after this. 75-66. The Lobos beat Wyoming. Lobo basketball from Learfield. Welcome back inside Dreamstyle Arena, the pit on the Lobo basketball postgame show. Big New Mexico win, 75-66 over visiting Wyoming. The Subway sub of the game is brought to you by Subway Restaurants. It's a no-doubter. Anthony Mathis comes off the bench again with another double-digit effort in league play. Congratulations to Anthony Mathis for being the Subway sub of the game. Subway Restaurants keep it going on and off the court. Stop in today. Anthony Mathis tonight, 4 of 10 floor, 3 of 7 deep, 5 of 6 foul line, 16 points for Mathis, 5 rebounds, 3 offensive, a blocked shot, 2 turnovers in 28 minutes. Anthony Mathis has been killing it in conference play and continues to be the Lobos' leading scorer in Mountain West action. Albuquerque Downs Racetrack and Casino, your home for winning entertainment, including simulcast racing. Quick peek at individual numbers. Lobos led by Antonio Jackson's Lobo career best 20 points. Antonio had a rebound, 4 assists, and 4 steals in 28 minutes. Joe Firstinger's 5th double-double in 7 games, 17 points, 10 rebounds, all defensive. He had 4 assists and 2 blocked shots. 17 points from McQuatch. Malouant's a true freshman. Blew everybody away tonight with his play. 5 of 9 field. A perfect 6 of 6 at the foul line with 1 3-ball and 3 tries from deep, 5 boards, 3 offensive, 3 assists and 2 steals for McQuatch. Mentioned Anthony Mathis' 16 points, 5 points for Chris McNeil as well for New Mexico coming off the bench. Justin James went for 31 for Wyoming. They got double digits from Dalton, but he scores 18 plus a night. And just 10 points tonight for Dalton on 4 of 10 floor. They got 8 points from Adams, 6 points from Herndon, 4 from Maldonado, 3 from Momeka, and 2 apiece from Redding and Aka Gorski. The Lobos shoot 46% field, while Wyoming shoots 49%. Lobos 10 of 24 deep, that's 42%. Wyoming 33%, 4 of 12. They didn't make a 3 in the second half. 10 of 12 at the foul line. Lobos kept them off the line, and they can shoot it. 83% from the line tonight, but didn't shoot many. The Lobos made more than they attempted. New Mexico 19 of 29 at the stripe. That's 76%. And despite getting dominated in the paint, 42-24, the Lobos win the points off turnovers battle, 23-16. The bench points, 21-15. And they dominate on the boards, 34-23, including 10-4 offensive rebound domination by New Mexico. After trailing by 5 at half, the Lobos lead by as many as 12 and win 75-66. Hunter, this was really impressive what New Mexico did tonight.
You could look at the improvement almost in every position. And Chris McNeil is still kind of struggling, trying to find himself, but the play of Jackson, Furstinger, Malawach, I mean, these guys are getting better at the right time, right at conference play, and you could just see it, and it's fun basketball to watch. I mean, it's not, standing around watching one guy create offense for himself. Furstinger inside outs, and then Mathis coming off the bench, knocking down threes, hitting free throws. Coach Ware's got him playing good basketball.
And this this Elite Eight, this Magic Eight, this 8 strong,
as we call it,
this 8 ball, they have been really good. That's 2 in a row for the Grade 8.
And I think he's saying for the most part is that they're dialed in mentally. Those guys are dialed in. They've bought in. And the mental toughness is what Coach Ware is trying to coach right now, trying to teach his young team is the mental toughness. And that's what it's going to take in conference play.
At the ready on the post-game call-in show, the overtime call-in show is J.J. Buck. He'll take your phone calls on our flagship station, 94.5 FM and AM 770 News Radio KKOB.